right to the tip. I can see myself falling under. I'm starting to lose my grip. Yeah, you never seem to ever wonder how I'm always out of line. Yeah, everybody hurts sometimes. I'm holding on to promises, and the soap's all full of hunger. We could always follow through with this, but you ever leave me with a number. I gotta be out my mind to love you every single time. If you want me to fall back, I'll fall back and get in line. If you want me to stay here, I'll stay here throughout the night. I got nothing to say, I got nothing to do. The decision is up to you. If you want me to fall back, I'll fall back and get in line. If you want me to stay here, I'll stay here throughout the night. I got nothing to say, I got nothing to do. The decision is up to you. I'll dive into the notion I carry on my back. I'll sail across the ocean just to get back on track. No, we can't resort to nothing, won't resort to nothing. I'm seeking for a long time, cause it's been a long time, long time, long time, long time. I'm needing you to step up, cause it's been a long time. When you used to be mine, when love wasn't a crime. Oh, if you want me to fall back, I'll fall back, give it in line. If you want me to stay here, I'll stay here throughout the night. I got nothing to say, I got nothing to do. I might give it, the decision is up to you. If you want me to fall back, I worked so hard to just enough love. If you want me to stay here, I tried so hard to just the night. I got nothing to say, I got nothing to do. The decision is up to you. All day, please. Can't get out of bed, I'm feeling uninspired. Just thinking about this work, my heart, my soul is tired. Pick up calls that hit me like a rock. My fears, they drown in truth. Don't wanna be pushed to the edge, but I'm there, so what's the use? I'm feeling so lazy. Depression naps all day, please. My sad thoughts, they chase me. I'm feeling just so lazy. I'm feeling so lazy. Depression naps all day, please. My sad thoughts, they chase me. I'm feeling just so lazy. So lazy. My mind was up all night, thinking about my fate. And I apologize if you see me stray. Look at calls that hit me like a rock. My fears, they drown in truth. Don't wanna be pushed to the edge, but I'm there, so what's the use? I'm feeling so lazy. Depression naps all day, please. My sad thoughts, they chase me. I'm feeling just so lazy. I'm feeling so lazy. Depression naps all day, please. My sad thoughts, they chase me. I'm feeling just so lazy. So lazy. Depression naps, 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 depression naps. I'm feeling so lazy. Depression naps all day, please. My sad thoughts, they chase me. I'm feeling just so lazy. I'm feeling so lazy. Depression naps all day, please. My sad thoughts, they chase me. I'm feeling just so lazy. So lazy. Baby, hold me down. Baby, hold me down. Anytime, any place, let me know, and I'll be there right now. Watch me glimmer in the light, let me show you how. Baby, hold me down, it's a mood, it's a vibe, you could get it right now. Watch me glimmer in the light, let me show you how. I'm scared, you scared, be scared. On edge, my legs, this bed. So let's. I'm scared, you scared, be scared. On edge, my legs, this bed. So let's get a little fancy, get a little fancy, get a little fancy, get a little fancy, yeah, get a little fancy, get a little fancy, get a little fancy, get a little fancy, yeah. Getting lost in the night, hold me tight, cause I'm needing love now. Watch me glimmer in the light, let me show you how. Sit back, relax, baby, let me know where your mood is at. Hope you're feeling hungry, cause I got a snack. Hearing all this chitter, so let's have a chat. Give me mass attack. I'm scared, you scared, be scared. On edge, my legs, this bed. So let's. I'm scared, you scared, be scared. On edge, my legs, this bed. So let's. Get a little fancy, get a little fancy, get a little fancy, get a little fancy, yeah. Get a little fancy, get a little fancy, get a little fancy, get a little fancy, yeah. I'm scared, you scared, be scared. On edge, my legs, this bed. So let's. I'm scared, you scared, be scared. On edge, my legs, this bed. So let's. Get a little fancy, get a little fancy, get a little fancy, get a little fancy, yeah. Get a little fancy, get a little fancy, get a little fancy, get a little fancy, yeah. Get a little fancy, get a little fancy, get a little fancy, get a little fancy, yeah. Get a little fancy, get a little fancy, get a little fancy, get a little fancy, yeah.
I gotta get used to that.
Feel my body. I don't even know how it's such a cool, but I'm catching feelings. Give me one more chance, throwing up my hands, fingers to the ceiling. You got me feeling like
Damn, Randy. She got it like that.
Hi. Hi. Nope.
I was muted. I was muted. I was muted. Okay, sorry. I was apologizing because I have to. Oh wait, no, wrong one.
It worked.
No, it didn't work. I forgot.
Oh.
It. Yeah, I have to do the one that has both you and me tip info. So live on stream, I just have to add our tipping information only because I wasn't able to like get our Zoom separately from this, but it's okay. Everybody who is here loves us and is willing to hang out and see the magic happen on live. There we go. There we go. Okay, everybody, welcome back to Q&A with QAP and our double feature night. Did you all love Cody Smith's performance at the Stud?
Okay, can we talk about that right fast?
Go ahead, talk
So
about it.
it's so weird to watch old videos like that because now that I know that I have my heart condition, I actually get really sad looking at like videos like that because I was really unknowingly pushing myself to a boundary that I had no idea that I was. I always just grew up thinking I had asthma. So looking at these performances, seeing me sing and dance at the same time, and I just look very kind of like weak. It's just so weird to think I unknowingly had my the birth defect with the heart. So
Oh
it's
my
it's actually it was I was kind of
God.
sad looking at it. I
Oh
was
my
just like,
God,
oh, he was like really trying to push
no.
through. I know.
No, I didn't know that. I mean, well, I know that you have your heart condition. We all found this out over like
Yeah,
quarantine basically. We found it out,
yeah.
right? Um I mean, you found out, and just me being your friend, I found out, and it is crazy. And I'm so sorry that you are getting sad feelings looking at that, because for me, I get to see you performing, and I get to see you in your element, and it makes me actually really, really happy to like see those moments. And I'm sorry that you
Yeah.
have like I hope that you feel proud of it. You know what I mean? Like, I know that you
Oh,
feel
for
like you were
sure. I
pushing
mean,
yourself,
it
and
was it was the best time of my life to this day. Like those couple days that week was like literally so much fun. It was like, oh, this is what it's like to kind of I got a taste of what it would kind of be like, you know?
yeah.
And to this day, like when I think about my highest moment, I think about the Lash, I think about San Francisco, I think about exposure. And it was
Aww.
so fulfilling. And the good news is, of course, I feel weird looking back at those things, knowing what I have now, but it's also good to know like once I heal, it's over. Like once I get,
It's
because I get my surgery,
over. And you have
once I
all of us
heal,
behind you, and you literally, we will plan the second tour. You know what I mean? Like, and we will do it
yeah.
now with knowing about you. You know what I mean? Like, only good things will come from this, you know?
Oh, I'm
Like,
so excited. I'm supposed to be because the way I'm breathing now is the only way I've known how to breathe. So they're
mm-hmm.
saying like I'm supposed to be able to sing different. Everything's going to be different because I will have correct blood flow to the heart and I'll be able to do a lot more. So in a way I'm excited and it's like just more ammo to like want to do better.
Yeah. I mean, not even just do better, because you do amazing fucking work. It's not about being better, it's about growing with your art, and it's about
Yeah.
seeing the potential that you could have, you know, without your heart condition that you didn't know that you were living with. And
Yeah.
we are here. We are here for you
I
100%.
appreciate that.
I love you. So welcome back to Q&A with QAP, everybody. Our second guest tonight is my I love you, love you, love you so fucking much. It is literally, this is the pop star that needs to come out of Los Angeles right fucking now. This is Codi Smith. The performance that you just watched was I planned a tour for Codi, and this was our performance in San Francisco at the Stud, which is now, they unfortunately had to close their doors because of the pandemic. And so I think that you and I are both really lucky that we got to perform on the stage of the Stud because of everything that happened. That is such an iconic
It's a legendary
stage.
stage too. Yeah, with I think they said Lizzo performed there
Lizzo
and
performed there,
Gaga
Lady
performed
Gaga
there.
performed there, and so many like drag legends have graced that fucking stage. Like that stage, and I'm wearing Tito's shirt today, also, by the way. Literally, the Stud is like legendary, and the community that they have built in fucking San Francisco and everything like that. I just think that we're very lucky to have planned the Sensation Tour and been able to like perform on that stage before the pandemic, because it only happened a few months after, because
Right. I was about to say it was right
we were
before it.
there in October, and then the pandemic happened in March. And that's so wild. I think it's like meant to be, you know what I mean? Like it was so meant to be for us to have been able to like go there and be at the Stud and perform at the Stud. We did have some times there, but
Are you talking about that time?
We
The
can
time
talk
that
about it. We can talk about it because it's like that's what also like this podcast is supposed to be for. It's like we're trying to talk about the community and the things that we also have to like endure, the things that we have to go through, the things that we have
I'm
to.
about to take my glasses off of this.
Girl, yes, it is getting too shady. You need to
Yes.
take the glasses off because you need to have full vision for the shade that is about to be spilt here. It's not shade.
Yes.
It's not shade. It is literally just us telling you the facts and the tea of what we had to experience. But also, some good came out of it, Cody. And I told you that at New Year's.
Yes. Yes, you
um,
did.
so when we performed at the Stud, literally everybody there was such a fucking sweetheart. Like the bartenders, the people who helped us with everything, but the person who was helping us do like the stage management of the show, her name was Shoban. Um, she was basically serving a lot of microaggressions towards Cody while we were there because our show is called Queer as Punk, and I thought if we're going to take Cody up to San Francisco, I know a way to get a crowd. I have a lot of drag community friends in the Bay Area, so when we're taking Cody on the Sensation Tour, what we'll do is we'll throw a Queer as Punk show in San Francisco, and Cody will be the music act, and it will be the Sensation Tour's show, but there will be drag performers because I have a lot of drag friends that can bring in a crowd. And so Shoban thought that my show was supposed to be a punk show and was giving Cody a lot of microaggressions, saying that he deserved to be at a pop night and that there's this show here that was called Fake and
Fake and
Gay.
Gay.
And you
It
would
was
be
called Fake and
perfect.
Gay.
You would be perfect for this show. And you know, punk maybe isn't your avenue or whatever. And I wasn't present for any of that conversation because if I was there, I would be like, bitch, who the fuck do you think that you're talking to? Cody had to actually hear and, you know, get that conversation all by himself. And I think, weren't Brandy and Iman with you?
Yeah. So
And
it
she
started
was
off.
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Well, remember, it actually first started off with the mic. And then, because, you know, there was a mic issue with every show.
We got
That
there,
time, my
yeah.
mic.
Well, we had gotten there
I
early
don't.
because
Yeah.
we knew we had mic issues because you had a wireless mic. And so I was like, let's get there half an hour early, or actually we got there maybe an hour early so that we could
Yeah.
figure out the mic issues with the with all of the DJ set stuff that they had. And we figured it out. It was like it wasn't even going to be a big deal if you needed to use their like microphone. It wouldn't have been a big deal. But she was trying to give you a hard time because she was saying that your microphone was the issue, when in reality it was actually their equipment that was the issue, because we had by that point already figured out how to wire your mic and how to do all of that stuff, and how like in close range you needed to be. And she was making your microphone the issue, and then once we figured out the issue with their equipment, it worked like right away. I remember.
Right. But remember, she wanted me to just do the first act. She was like, well, she was trying to cut this to act 2. And I'm thinking, I didn't come to San Francisco to just do one act. Nope. So we ended up using a handheld microphone. But what was weird to me was the way she treated me after act 1. I thought that was very strange. But of course, with everything the show goes on, I had the other mic. It was totally fine. And then I moved on from whatever that happened. And then when I got off the stage, she was like, yeah, I just want to give you some critiques. She tried to make it seem like I used my dancers as props and just saying all these kind of things. And
very
basically,
condescending.
Yeah. And she's like, well, I'm a performer, not to sound mean, but you're using women as props. And I'm thinking like, they're my friends. Like Brandy choreographed half of this. Like, what do you mean?
She made
like,
the outfits. She
made the outfits. They were just as part of it as everybody else. So I was just like, you're using them as props. I mean, first of all, they're dancers. Dancers dance. That they did their job. But you have no idea how close I am to these girls. Like, we, doing stuff like that, you become really close. So I felt weird because she made it seem like I was treating them less than, and I had such a good connection with those girls. Like I still talk to them. Me and Brandy talk all the time. So that definitely threw me off. And I think that was when I was hot. I think I was like, I just want to go home. Like at that
yeah.
point, so she left, came back to talk more shit, left. And then I guess that's when she apologized.
She was
And
crying to you. She was trying to like give you her white girl tears. And
yes,
that's when I had walked in and I did not know about any of the conversations that had prefaced anything. And she like grabbed me and she was like crying at me. And I was just like, what are you even doing? What are you even talking about? You were literally here to work the lights. Like, girl, what the fuck are you
right.
doing? And even
But
with
when
the
she started crying, I was like, that's when I knew. I was like, oh, this bitch is crazy. Like,
yeah.
this is not a normal. Like, she's actually crazy. But I don't know if you remember, I was ready to go home.
I do
I was like,
remember.
I'll
I do
meet you
remember
guys.
you telling me that, and I looked at you and I was like, "No, the whole point of us being here is for you. This is your show." Like, I threw a queer as punk only because I was like, I know how to get more people in the door, drag performers, period.
Right.
But the whole point of that tour was for you. That was your
But
show.
also, to say that I don't belong at Queer's Punk, like, fuck my show. I performed at Queer's Punk many times. And to say that,
She
it's like,
doesn't even know
I don't
us.
know. Yeah, and it's just like to say, I mean, if you've gone to a Queer as Punk show, there's so much, I think personally, there's a lot of diversity and a lot of different dynamics in the group. It's not just like one type of person. There's so
Exactly.
many different types of people, and I feel like it's a community show. Like it's
Exactly.
not just like a theme show. Like it's a community show. In my opinion, that's what I take from Queer as Punk. It's a community.
Exactly.
I feel like everyone is open, and I don't know, just it rubbed me the wrong
Well,
way.
she saw the word punk and thought that we were a punk show, which we do have a lot of LA punk bands that play. We do have a lot of
Yeah,
punk musicians. We do have a lot of punk performers. But the reason why I named my show the way that I named it is because it is punk as fuck to be marginalized and still be out here walking every day proud as fuck, to be out here walking every day loving who you want to love, to be out here walking every day, to be trans, to be non-binary, to be a fucking queer woman in a scene, to be, you know what I mean? That's what is punk. That's why my show is called
right.
that, because there is not one face of punk. And it can be punk music, yes, it can be what you think immediately of punk, but to me, punk comes from living your life being told that you don't belong, you can't conform, you're not conforming to a system, you all of that, you know what I mean? She doesn't know that about us.
And but like, if you take that definition of punk and you look at me, yeah, I do pop music, but there's not a lot of people that look like me besides, like Lil Nas, X, and there's definitely like gay people in the industry, but with people, there's not a lot of people doing pop the way I do pop, and
No,
so
exactly.
I'm not a choice of like what you would think a pop star is, and so it's crazy when you say that definition, they kind of intertwine with like who I am.
If you want to talk about being punk, it's like you are, you know what I mean? You're a black gay person, and that in itself, being black is punk. Being fucking
Right.
gay out loud is punk. And having to merge both of those things together into one identity, having to, you know what I mean? Like, have these conversations with your family, having to walk into the world as an openly, like, gay
Mhm.
person, that is punk as fuck. And if anybody wants to tell me otherwise or has to say that Cody can't be here, to me, I give you two of these and you will see me outside. You can catch these fucking hands, okay? Like, no. That's why that
Yes.
bitch had the, like, because I obviously didn't know any of these conversations that had happened before. And so when I walked in, I saw you very distraught and you were telling me that you wanted to go home. And I was like, why? 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 And then she started crying at me, and I remember how I had to ask her to leave, and I like called in all of the other people who like knew her from San Francisco, and I was like, this is what's going down, whatever. They actually made her leave, and this story has a fucking happy ending because they fired her after she gave Cody a fucking hard time. I guess everybody at the stud was having an issue with this specific person before, and since we were out of town friends coming in to their space where everybody treated us kindly, everybody treated us so good except her, and it was such a specific type of bad the way that she treated us. It wasn't even like she was just like a little bit rude or she was just like a little bit whatever. She was literally giving Cody specifically a very hard time.
And it dragged out because she kept leaving and coming back and talking shit.
She kept leaving, she kept coming back, and you know what? Like, Mary Vice was actually the person who sent me a DM, and she was just like, "Hey, I don't know what happened. I don't know the whole story, but can you please like write it in an email, and we will make sure that this person." Because that's when Mary had told me that they had already been having a very hard time with this specific person, and so I did, and they fired her, and that's what she deserves. She doesn't deserve to be. She doesn't need to be treating anybody like that, especially when she's working at a space that is giving literal like giving the space to a lot of queer people, to a lot of queer people of color, to a lot of marginalized people. The stud was like the space for everybody to go and congregate at, you know what I mean? And it was supposed to feel like home to us, and it did until we came into contact with her. And I have literally zero bad things to say about the stud. Nothing bad to say about the stud, but that was just like something unfortunate that we had to go through.
And it's funny because I think she knew it was coming because she sent me a DM shortly after.
No.
I didn't tell you?
No, you didn't tell me this.
No, she sent me a DM like a couple days later apologizing. She knew it was coming. And you know what was also weird? When a lot of us were in the back and people were telling me their bad experiences with her. And so I was just like someone literally said, the worst things I've ever been told about me have been from her. And I'm just thinking, like, what kind of shit is going on? The thing is, but despite that, it still honestly was one of the best nights of my life, just because the crowd was amazing. And it's one of those things, it's like, I'm not from San Francisco. That was my first time ever going to San Francisco. So to have anyone in general, I don't care if it's 2 people, 5 people, to have anyone just like vibing and like really enjoying themselves that don't know who I am, don't know where I've come from. It was very fulfilling, and everyone was passionately like entertaining.
About you. That's what made me so happy too, is because like that's why I think of that night as like one of my favorite nights ever. Like, fuck all of that bullshit that we had to go through, but regardless, you know how much fun we fucking had. Like, driving up there, getting our little Airbnb, getting ready together, and then, like, even that show, it's different when you're performing in LA and a crowd is receiving you, because it's like, half of these people, yes, I know them, the other half are their friends, and maybe their friends are telling them, like, good things about me.
Right.
That was a crowd that was very, like, all of them were completely, like, strangers to us, and it was crowded in there. It was busy that night, and when they saw you, everybody was just like lighting up, and they loved it. And like the fact that Showbana's trying to like only give you one set, I was like, excuse me, they're like literally begging for more right now. And you like went out there and everybody was like singing back, I'm feeling so lazy, depression now. Like they learned the words to sing them back to you. Like that made me so fucking happy. That crowd was just so amazing. I still like am like Instagram friends with a lot of them, because they all came up to me after and was just like, oh my god, this was like so much, this was so cool, like everybody here was so sweet, y'all were amazing, they loved you, like, yeah.
Yeah, that was again one of the highlights of my life, and just I don't know who told me this, but someone said they like heard fuckboy from outside of the bar and came in and like stayed, like stuff like that. It's like, oh, like that is just so, that's just so fulfilling because it's just like y'all don't know who I am at all, like,
Yeah.
and it's so because of that, it's just so genuine, and I really could not thank you guys enough, like everyone, like you, Jake, and then just even the driving of it all, because it was a
It
little
was a drive,
drive,
honey.
and
Especially
the
because
girls,
our Airbnb was in Oakland, but the show was in San
right,
Francisco.
right, yeah, and I love that little Airbnb though.
That
It was so
I
cute.
Whenever I think about like I had a good quality Airbnb, I think about the one in Oakland. I was like, bitch, that
Yeah,
shit was fucking
fulfilling.
the
It was
room, the
fulfilling.
kitchen, the living
I
room.
know. I still got pictures.
I know
I will not
us
delete
us all
them.
happy on the porch, like
Oh, I know. I love that picture. And then like take that. Yeah,
just
that
like
was
a
such a
moment
good
of pure
time.
happiness.
But seriously, no, really, because then right after it was honestly, but COVID. If it wasn't for COVID, my money wouldn't be up the way it is right now. So I'm not even going to talk shit about COVID right now
Skirt
because the
said,
unemployment checks
Skirt
I was
said,
getting.
Cody, I'm still sorry I dropped the ball for getting your chair and laptop charger.
Oh, child, I forgot about that.
You didn't forget about it that day you
I
were
accept
texting
your
me. You
apology,
said
but
it would happen to me. I was like, Cody.
oh,
Okay, we've talked a lot of shit already just to open up this show.
yeah.
I want to, first of all, Cody, would you like to introduce yourself to the group now that we know a lot of bad things that have happened to you?
Yes. I get weird when people ask me like, "Tell me about yourself," because I'm just like, "I'm a pop singer," and literally they're like, "So do you do anything else?" And I'm like,
No.
"No, that's it. That's all I can think of. Like, that's it."
Well,
But yeah,
Cody is an amazing pop star and makes amazing pop music. Um, I first met Cody because I was throwing Queer as Punk, and this was like, ooh, like over 3 years ago.
2017.
It was over 3 years ago already that we were at La Cueva, which was like a little bar in El Monte. And who introduced me to you for me to
It
even
was
DM you?
it was Van Jasmine.
Okay, I love Van. I love
It
Van.
was Van Jasmine. I met Van Jasmine in 2015, so I already knew them for 2 years already,
Mm-hmm.
and
How did you know
they,
him?
I I met them through their partner at the time via Twitter,
Okay.
and yeah, it went from there. They were very supportive. That was when I've been doing music since I
I
was
think Van's
18.
pronouns are he, him, just so that you know.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Um, I was doing music since 2015, or no, I've been doing music since 2013. But I'm in Love with a Fuckboy was the first song I released, and he was very, very, very supportive. He
Van is the
helped me.
sweetest.
Yeah, he helped me do the behind the scenes. I mean, no, he helped me shoot the video. Like, because like that was when I had nothing. So it was like an iPhone video, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, he introduced me to you guys. And I remember it was like a Facebook group, I think, at the time. And I was like, can I please perform? And
No,
then
I think he probably sent me your info, and then like I reached out to you maybe or something like that.
yeah, I just remember Facebook for sure.
Yeah, it was probably on Facebook.
Yeah. And
I wish I sorry, side note, I wish that you picked I'm in love with a fuckboy just so that we could all see the beauty that is because it's so good.
aw, Yeah, that video is triggering though.
Oh
I don't
no.
like. I don't. Oh well, since we're spilling tea tonight, let me just tell you this.
Yeah.
I actually had shot a whole real music video for it that never saw the light of day.
Oh my
It was,
god.
yeah, it was this guy that I met on Tinder maybe, and he was like, I really fuck with you. I want to shoot your video. I got into directing, blah, blah, blah. I want to film you. I want to film your video. And I was like, me being, 21 and having no help or support and being really unknown. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Yeah. So we started shooting the video and he wanted me to do like really weird things that I was like very uncomfortable with.
Oh no.
And I started like, it was weird for me because I was like, this is someone who's shooting a video for free, so I need to do what they say.
Yeah.
But then by the end, I was like, no, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to be on top of a damn hill doing this. Like, this doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And so he was like, F you, I'm scrapping the whole thing. I don't give a fuck. And so that's when I was like, I don't give a fuck too. I'll do it on my own. And that's when I shot it on my phone.
Oh,
But I
hell
think
no.
about the whole debacle when I think about that phone video. But yeah, it was a lot.
Oh my god, no.
Yeah.
Cody, I'm so happy that you met us and we are just able to help you with things.
No.
What the fuck?
You know what? But I always get caught up that way. I was trying to send you the Only Nigga video for this, but it wasn't working for some reason on my drive to the Google Drive. I don't know what was happening. It just wasn't working. And there was drama on that too, because we shot the video and being on set, it was fun. It was fine. Everything was fine. He sent me the first edit within like 12 hours.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's kind of fast. I watched it, hated it. I hated it. I was like, hey, but I didn't know how to say I hate it. So I was like, hey, so I watched the video. I would just love it if I could kind of be there during the editing process so I can like look at all the footage and stuff. And he was like, okay. He was like, well, I love it and my friends love it. So what's the problem? And I was like, I understand.
I'm the artist and I should have a say.
But that was when I was like, I didn't want to step on anyone's toes. And I'm still learning this, by the way, like with every failed attempt of everything that I do, I try to take it as a learning lesson. But because I should have been more straightforward from the get. I kept doing the whole polite shit. Like, hey, I know you did your best, but no, I should have been more very direct, like just because you're direct doesn't do it.
It's different when you are wanting, because it's like, let's say somebody does something really good for you and you want to keep that working relationship. It's like, I'm going to be respectful. You know what I mean? I'm going to be respectful to you. And you can't assume that everybody's going to be the same way, which is like really disheartening and really hard to like kind of see at first. But ultimately, it's your project, it's your music, it's your face, it's all of that. They need to understand that more. Girl. What?
Yeah, he went off on me, told me that I should have been more confident in myself and like just kind of like degrading me. And I think it was just like an ego thing for him. Keep in mind, I looked at his page recently. He hasn't done a music video since.
Yeah.
And he was like, I've been doing this for 8 years. And honestly, if I was him, I wouldn't have never said that, because you've been doing this for 8 years and this is what you give me. Because that video was giving USC film final. It was giving Santa Monica Community College film final.
Not Santa Monica Community College, Cody.
It was giving Northridge. It was giving Northridge film final.
It's the Northridge for me. I thought it was the Santa Monica, but it's the Northridge for me.
And I'm just thinking, like, no shade, but I was just like, I put in the Thug Me Out video was better than this, and I did that for free. And I did that on iMovie with no color correcting, no anything. And this is what you give me. Like, I paid money. And I guess that's what it is for me. Like, I guess I'm realizing when I work with other people, I can't just give it up to them. Like, I need to be hands on. Like, I need to know what's going on. I can't just be like, do whatever you want and then hope I like it. No, I have to be throughout the process.
Yeah.
I'm just too particular to just be like anything goes.
Yeah, no, and you shouldn't have to be, because the quality of like art, music, everything that you're putting out is literally top notch, and you literally need to have a say in everything that you do, because it is you. You're a solo project. This is your own image that you're putting out. You're not with a group, you know? Like,
Right.
I think that you need to have more I mean, this is just me being your friend, but like, just, you know what I mean, like, have a little bit more confidence in what you're doing, because your work literally speaks for itself. It is so fucking good.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. I met Cody fucking over 3 years ago, and this bitch played my show 3 years ago, and I think you played like our 1 year anniversary. That was like the first show that you played, I think, at Queer as Punk, because it was at La Cueva. I remember that. But I think the first time that I met you was at our 1 year, because I remember Zuri was your DJ, and then
Yes.
Zuri kept DJing for the rest of the night, and that's how I met Zuri too. And you were just so amazing. And I remember like falling in love with you, and we booked you like 10 trillion times after that. So
The first time I did it, I did the next month as well.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really cool. I was invited back to the next month, and I was like, oh my God, you know? Believe it, that was my first time performing for real in front of a crowd.
I think you told me that too, that it was like your first time performing.
Yeah, like my own songs, because that was around the time I put out my first mixtape, Dynamic. And so that was like my little labor of love, which now I listen to it, it's terrible. I'm like, I think I hit a few tracks off the SoundCloud so no one can ever hear them. Like, it is terrible. But, you know, we all grow. Thank God Thug Me Out came from that, though, because that's still kind of like a staple song, I feel like, of mine.
Yeah. Every time BB Discoteca comes in my chat, she's like, play Thug Me Out.
Yes, I love Thug Me Out. That was when I just love it. Like,
It's
the
such
play
a
on
good
word.
song.
I always wanted to do the word thug, making it sound like fuck, because it's been done over the years. Like Ashanti, love it when you thug me, baby.
Yeah.
And I think Britney was like, she did a song, she was like, you can be my thug tonight. And it's like, you hear it fast and like, does it sound like fuck? Like, did she just say fuck? You know?
Yeah.
So it was so much fun to like do that. Sorry, I'm like going on like tangents and rants.
No. Please do. That's what this show is for.
Yeah.
We don't even need to stop at 10. We can, you know what I mean? Like, we don't have a time limit. You're our second guest, so we don't have a time limit. We're good.
Okay. Yeah, but that journey, the journey from Dynamic to manifesting miracles was like, I learned a lot, like, which is why I can say that Dynamic was terrible, because I did not take the due diligence I needed to take for that to be a good product. I was so concerned about just releasing something that I didn't, you know. So Manifesting Miracles was my first time really honing in on like waiting till the time is right. And also that was my first time writing songs from scratch that where a beat didn't exist. Mm-hmm. Like, I've always would write over a beat, and I think only 3 tracks for Manifesting Miracles were a beat that was already made. But that was my first time like playing around in GarageBand and giving it to Gilberto to like play it, and like we're going through all the synths, picking it out one by one. Like people hear tracks, but they don't realize
What goes
every
into it?
sound. Yeah, every sound you hear, we sat for hours
Yep.
making sure like I was fulfilled by it.
Yeah.
So Manifesting Miracles definitely was a labor of love. And even where I'm going into now, I feel like I low key am starting to feel like I'm just now starting to get my powers, if that makes sense. I know it sounds weird to say, but I'm just now honing in on like what I can do with my voice and like learning that a little can go a long way. And
Mm-hmm.
my first play with that is The Decision, the song The Decision. Um, and even just like lyrically, just trying to be a little more poetic, trying to really get articulate how I feel. And I feel like The Decision was really like the beginning for me. It was like really the first song where I was like, I can see who you're becoming. And I don't know, I feel like I'm just now getting my powers. And I do feel like after my heart surgery, I will be hopefully going into final form soon.
Yes. Oh my
But
God. Let me just say right now that, okay, because Manifesting Miracles came out in 2018, was it?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
2018. Um, and after that, The Decision is like the latest release, basically.
Well, there
It's
was Waiting For in 2019.
Oh, that's right. Waiting for, and then it was The Decision. But The Decision
Yeah.
is your latest single that you have released with us and released for us. I mean, for the world to hear. And I mean, you know how much I love your music, but I think that The Decision is my favorite song by you. And I
Aw.
think that a lot of other people feel the same way. Like you've seen that clip of Epi where she's just like on her stream and she's like doing her makeup and she's just like, if you want me to fall back,
Yes,
I'll
yes,
fall
yes,
back.
yes. And you know what? I will say, you guys' support really makes me feel like I made the right decision with a song like that because, see how I did that? Because The Decision it is a song that I would make, but it's also not a song I would normally make, if that
It
makes
wouldn't be on Manifesting Miracles, is what I will
no.
say.
And it's
Yeah.
like I've done the 80s sound before, like The Only Nigga is like that kind of 80s sound. But I don't know, there's just something about The Decision that is just different for me.
To me, it
I
feels
think
very current. It feels so current.
hmm and at first I was just kind of like beating myself up about it because I was like, first of all, I feel like it wasn't really on brand to release that as a single because I feel like people want up tempos like Thug Me Out and stuff like that from me. So I was just kind of like, and then it didn't necessarily do what I wanted it to do, like streaming wise, because I thought like at that time I was like, this is my best song. Like this is my best song, and it's gonna do this and it's gonna do that. You hope that it does things, and it's still doing well in its own right. Um, but I was just kind of like, maybe I should have put up an up tempo and just have stuck with that. But when I see you guys' support and like just like the things you guys say, it's different than just like, I love your song. Like, I feel like you guys have an actual emotional connection to the song. And that's my first song where I feel like I've reached people in that way. Like, I've made songs that like people like, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if it touched them in that specific way.
I text you the day that you released it and I was like, I'm crying. Like, I'm literally crying. It, like, really took me back to a lot of memories of, like, heartbreak and, like, these, like, this, like, specific love relationship that I had with this person. And, like, I really, really felt it. You know what I mean? And I love all of your music and I love that all of your music is about love, basically. You know what I mean? It's about like
Right.
love or sex or romantic relationships. Like that's one of my favorite things about you. And but this song specifically is like very personal, and it hit me in a very personal way, you know. And I text you and I was like, okay, bitch, I'm crying right now.
I know, and that made me, you know, because it's like you would hope that people feel something when they hear anything that you do. And I will say that's the first song. Yeah, it's about love, but that was my first song. Usually it's either I want to fuck or fuck these niggas. Like, you have me fucked up, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas this song was more like limbo, if that makes sense. It's kind of like, because I'm literally saying the decision is up to you.
It's up
like,
to you, yeah.
You know, and that was my first song writing from the perspective of being in limbo. Like, you love them, but you also love yourself. So you're kind of like, it could go either way, because with or without you, I'm going to be fine.
It's
you know?
coming from a place of like, I'm going to let you hurt me or I'm going to let you love me. And that's what I took from it, you know?
You know what? And that's spot on. And the person I wrote it about, it was very much that. And the person I wrote it about was a very toxic child. You know, I love the toxicity. Like, I can.
That's the same person that I think about. That's the same person that I think about when I hear the decision. I'm like,
toxicity. Like, the toxicity hits, the sex hit, give me all of it. But then it's like, then you lay there and you show for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I have to take this off. It's hot. I tried it.
I took off my leather jacket. I needed to. I was like,
the jig is up. I done took off the glasses. I done took off the jacket. I'm just in a shirt and underwear.
Good. I'm in a shirt and sweats.
But yeah, that was, the decision was its own era. And I was gonna put decision on the EP that I'm working on, but for some reason it just does not fit anywhere. The decision does not fit anywhere.
I like it on its own. I like it on its own.
Yeah, and it's gonna have to be, because I originally wrote it to be part of the project that I'm gonna release later in the year, but it didn't make sense for it. And then I started an EP because of the decision. I was like, well, maybe I can write more introspectively. Mm-hmm. Maybe I can like play a quick snippet up for you guys about the new songs that are coming.
Yes,
because they
please.
They're the new songs that are coming. It's 4 tracks, hopefully. And what?
I'm burping. But I'm like, oh my God, Kevin said that he hadn't heard the decision. So maybe let's play the decision with you and I right here on camera. Let's listen to the decision. I think you could probably hear it, Cody, if I play it through my desktop. So let's do it, and let's listen to it, and let's vibe, me and you, together to the decision. Is everybody ready for this? Because this song is literally it, honey. This is actually not even planned. We haven't even gotten into the videos yet. Oh my God. Okay, group listen. Group listen.
Okay.
Right to the tip, I can see myself falling under. I'm starting to lose my grip. Yeah, you never seem to ever wonder how I'm always out of line. Yeah, everybody hurts sometimes. I'm holding on to promises, and the soap's so full of hunger. We could always follow through with this, but you ever leave me with a number. I gotta be out my mind to love you every single time. If you want me to fall back, decision is up to you. If you want me to fall back, I'll fall back and get in line. If you want me to stay here, I'll stay here throughout the night. I got nothing to say, I got nothing to do. The decision is up to you. I'll dive into the notion I carry on my back. I'll sail across the ocean just to get back on track. No, we can resort to nothing. Won't resort to nothing. I'm seeking for a long time, cause it's been a long time, long time, long time, long time. I'm needing you to step up, cause it's been a long time. When you used to be mine, when love wasn't a crime. Oh, if you want me to fall back, I'll fall back, give it in line. If you want me to stay here,
My favorite part is I might give it up. I love that.
The decision is up to you. If you want me to fall back, I work so hard to just announce it. If you want me to stay here, I tried so hard to just announce it. I got nothing to say, I got nothing to do. The decision is up to you.
God.
I think, like, I don't know, that's definitely my best song. I just feel like lyrically, even just every single line has just its own, I don't know.
No, yeah, like literally every single lyric, if you were to pull it apart, it could mean its own thing. It's like the Bible, you know what I mean? Like where every little...
Right.
Not to bring Jesus into this, but just like the Bible, where every single like lyric means something.
There's parallels, I fear.
I fear.
I fear.
I fear. I'm scared. You scared.
We're scared. On edge.
On edge. Cody, we haven't even gotten into your first video. I swear to God.
Oh, is this what I want is you? Because that was so much fun.
No, it's Waiting For, because you told me that Waiting For was supposed to be the first one.
Oh, you're right. I think, yeah. Okay, and this is, if we're talking about doing stuff on our phone, I made this lyric video on my phone and edited it myself. And then I also edited the Hug Me Out video myself.
It's giving very much your old, like, what are those videos that you used to put up on YouTube where it was like the, like, it was like your life update kind of thing.
Oh, recent happenings.
Recent happenings.
Yes.
It's giving me very much that, but if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. You'll see this video and it'll still be great. But this video is giving me very much recent happenings.
Yes, which I also edited on myself.
Love that.
So when I see a Northridge cut, I'm like, no, if I can do better than this on iMovie.
Stop it!
Because I be editing, so no Northridge cuts. If you have a Northridge cut, stay away from me. Stay away from me. Do not come near me.
It's the way that Northridge didn't do anything to you, but a person did. I don't even think they even came from Northridge.
I know, but I fear that I just have it out for Northridge at this point.
Oh my God. Okay, let's talk about Waiting For. Let's talk about the song, and let's talk about this lyric video that we're about to watch.
Okay, so Waiting For, it's so crazy that I said that the decision was different for me, because actually Waiting For was different for me too.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was your most streamed song to date when we went on the Sensation tour. When we went on the Sensation tour, because I remember you were like, this is the one, like, that I'm gonna sing, like, Waiting For is the one. And so, I mean, and it's so fucking good. Like, I have nothing against Waiting For, but she didn't know that the decision was coming next.
She didn't know. So Waiting For walked so the decision could run. That's just how I feel. And Waiting For, it was so easy. Like, Waiting For was the easiest song to write. It was literally, it's one of those rare things where the song writes itself. Because the decision, I actually I wrote the chorus first and then the first verse, but I didn't write the second verse until like 4 or 5 months after I
For
started
the
the song.
decision.
The second verse was the last thing I wrote, and because I had everything else done, but waiting for just flowed out. It was just so easy, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just like I'm waiting for you. Like, come on, I'm waiting
It's
for
you.
you.
You're what I'm waiting for.
But it's also yeah, but it's also kind of about like a deteriorating relationship as well because I am saying like we're walking different paths and it's so hard for me to try to face. I'm going through the motions. It so yeah, but then it's like I'm waiting for us to get back, get I don't want anyone else. I don't want them. I'm waiting for you, you
Yeah.
know? I don't know why I got so passionate talking about that right now.
All right, Cody, we're going to go on mute and we are going to watch the lyric video for Waiting For everybody. Yes.
Situation now I'm contemplating, was it lust or was it really love? I love struck, yeah it's problematic now, it's just a habit like a drug and I can't get it done. Left, right, keep it going all night, suffocating skin tight, take me to a new height, makes me and believe this, never been this desperate, never been this reckless, never been this helpless. It's you what I'm waiting for, you what I'm waiting for, you what I'm waiting for, baby, it's you what I'm waiting for, you're the one I adore, you what I'm waiting for, baby, it's you what I'm waiting for, you what I'm waiting for, you what I'm waiting for, baby, it's you what I'm waiting for, you're the one I adore, you what I'm waiting for, baby, it's you took a little piece of my heart, and every day I try to manage not to fall apart. Yeah, it's you what I'm waiting for. You're the one I adore. You what I'm waiting for, baby. It's you. Thoughts and it's so hard for me to try to face. I'm going through the motions. I don't even know how I got this way. And even though it's time for us to go and get some space, I can't help wondering how I'll be fine when I'm away. You what I'm waiting for. You what I'm waiting for. You what I'm waiting for, baby. It's you what I'm waiting for. You're the one I adore. You what I'm waiting for, baby. It's 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 you.
I accidentally too quickly went to like the hosting graphics before asking you to unmute. um, everybody, please give it up for fucking Waiting For.
Woo! It's still my most streamed to this day.
Really? I can't
Yeah.
believe that the decision isn't up there, but I think like what you said is like I don't know why the decision didn't do so well with numbers to you, but I think that it reached a lot of people personally, and I think that that's what is kind of really important as an artist. You know what I mean? Like you don't always need big numbers. That's very important, yes, but I think that when people have a very personal relationship with your music and your art,
Right.
it like really that's what means a lot more. You know, it's like
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. And the tone of the response was way more fulfilling. And also, it's one of those things, it's like when you're sitting there and you're writing your feelings and people are vibing with it, it's
Yeah.
just really fulfilling to know that, you know, everyone's been there, you know,
Yeah.
we can all just go through this together. We all can just have that moment, the 2 minutes and 22 seconds it was, which I did on purpose. I made sure it was 22 minutes and 22 seconds.
Angel
And
number.
I know, yeah. And my song called See Your Face, that interlude at the end of Manifesting Miracles, I made sure was 1 minute and 11 seconds. I just like to do like stupid stuff like that.
Manifesting.
Yeah.
Literally. Literally that. Wait, who filmed Waiting For?
Who filmed? It was my friend's sister. And we had nothing really. It was one of those things, you know how we did the What I Want Is You video
Mm-hmm.
and we had no real plan, but it was so much fun. And we just went around
Yeah.
and did it. That's what we did. We just went around town just filming.
Sorry.
No. I want some damn, what was that? It was like avocado and chicken. I need to come up with that.
That was the day that we did DTLA Proud. And I was having a lot of people over at my house after. So I needed to make something big and quick and fast. And so I made like a chicken salad kind of thing. And it was like boiled chicken and avocado and corn and onion and avocado. It was bomb.
That was
Oh, and it
better
had
than the
bacon in it.
toxicity.
It had bacon in it. And I just remember
Like, it's better than the toxicity I'm drinking. Like, that was so fucking good.
I remember Cody texting me after like, "Can you send me the recipe for that?"
It'll never compare. Any to touch.
That day was so much fun. DTLA Proud was so much fun.
That was so much fun.
The fact that like they were like, you know what, Queer as Punk as a whole, you only get 16 minutes on stage, and I was like, bet.
Yo.
Literally, bet. I put every artist that I knew on that stage that day.
Not a minute was wasted.
Not one.
And that ending was so much fun. Like when we all got on stage, it was Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, and
we all got on
did
stage.
Talented.
That was so much fun. Like that was so much fun.
That was so.
Talented.
It was like they gave us like a really bad daytime slot, like at like 2 p.m. or something like that.
I know, but you know what?
And the crowd came out for it, though. I will say.
Yeah,
That's
it was
why
still.
I was like, oh, only 16 minutes at 2 p.m. Bet.
Right, that part though. But they saw.
They sure did. That day was so much fun. I just love everybody like coming over to my house after, and we all like did karaoke and like ate, and I miss those days so much.
No. But I will say, Queer as Punk is really a huge part of my artistic identity, I think, honestly, because I mean, my story is the Queer as Punk story when it comes to my artistry. I just realized that just now because all the experiences I got to have with you guys.
It was like our moments of growing.
Yeah. Yeah. So literally, like, if there was, let's say I got a biopic or something, the Queer as Punk story is my story. Like that would, you can't have a Cody Smith story without, you know, because Queer as Punk really was kind of the real beginning for me. Like I knew what I wanted to do, I knew what I wanted, but I would say Queer as Punk kind of like trained me. I know it sounds weird to say, but I really like I learned everything, even just the tour with Queer as Punk, like all the mistakes that happened, the mic stuff, and like just going on with the show anyway, and
I
just
mean,
like
I learned from that. That was the first time that I like managed a band being on tour.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like uh, when I booked you for your tour, I wasn't getting anything out of it except for the experience of like booking you for a tour. You know what I mean? That
right,
was my first time doing something like that because I was like, I have these certain resources, I have this certain knowledge of booking, I have this that I don't think that a lot of artists have out there. And then you had made a tweet that had said like, I just want to go on a tour one day or like something like that. And I literally like sent you a text and I was like, do you want to? Because because
yeah,
I had planned Pussy Tuesday's tour, the first and only tour that we ever went on. I planned that whole thing by myself. We went to like 7 cities. We traveled by ourselves. We had to find housing on our own, all of that stuff. And through that, I had gained contacts and all of that stuff. Oh my God, sorry, I'm burping because I ate.
you're good. This is a safe
Um,
space.
and so when you said that you wanted to go on tour, I was like, I don't have a lot to offer, but at least I can offer, you know what I mean, like this in a way. And it was like just my own experience from doing it myself that one time. And I remember meeting with you. You had like met me after work one day and we like went and got coffee. And I was like, let's talk about it. Let's do it. We're not going to just dream about it. We're going to make it a reality. And we like fucking did all of the planning for it. And then I was like, I'm going to reach out to these few people that I think will be able to book you because of where I got to book Pussy Tuesday. And it happened. And the Sensation Tour was only a 3-stop tour, but I think that that's kind of what was like perfect for that experience itself. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
I think that because you and I had talked after and we're like, we'll plan something bigger the next time. Now that I know what it's like to be like managing an act, and now that you know what it's like to be on tour, we wanted to plan something bigger and like longer for the next time. And I can say the same for you, where it was like you as an artist were a learning experience for me, you know? So, yeah. I
Yeah,
love
and
you.
I love you too. I mean, seriously, I just don't think I would be where I'm at without you, and not just like you, and like, I think just without the support and like the confidence. I would say you gave me confidence. I would definitely say you gave me confidence to kind of like, I don't know. And your energy also is very chill too, in a sense of like, it's gonna happen. Like you're not a worrier of like, oh my God, I don't know what's gonna. So the fact that we were in this together, because I'm definitely a worrier. I was the worrier. And you were pretty like, this is fine, you know, we're good. I can do this. If this doesn't work out, you always had a plan B. It was, you never lingered on a hiccup. So I really do appreciate you for that time, because it really was the time of my life, despite everything leading up to it, despite the awful, I don't know if you saw the awful outfit that some random person made me.
The pink one
And I
or
had
the
to make a
black
new
and white
outfit
one?
last minute. The pink one, I don't know. Fun fact, if you guys don't know, that top was made just hours before the first show. I had a whole other outfit from this up and coming
Oh my God, wait,
designer.
I remember. Go on.
Yes, and she made this mesh. I don't even want to talk about it because I'm getting hot. Like I'm getting hot just thinking about
I
it. But let's
remember.
just say I put it on and it immediately fell apart. of course, it was terrible to begin with, but I was like, maybe I can, and it immediately fell apart. I was like, shit, the show's in like 3 days. What am I gonna do? Brandy pulled out all the stops. My best friend Alexa pulled out all the stops. Like everyone had my back. Like it was bad, and everything was worth it in the end. Everything was worth it. Like when I was up there, I wasn't thinking about the rehearsals that went wrong or the people that didn't show up, or it was just like everything led up to this. Whatever happens, no matter if the mic goes out, no matter it was just so. It was like a mode I haven't ever been in because that was my first time performing more than just like what 3 4 songs. I performed almost all of my songs.
Well, yeah,
That,
especially for the Sensation tour. It was like you did 2 acts. So the first act was like your like track to track of how you thought things should flow, and that was supposed to be like your pink poppy set, and we had planned for the lights to be a specific way so that it can
right.
reflect on like the happiness of it all, and then you had your monologues that you would deliver like before and after each set, and after, like I think before and after a few songs even, where it
Yeah.
would kind of like change the mood of things. And then the
Yes.
second act was you in your black and white pinstripes, and then that was like the more like either really like sadder versions of songs, or it was like your sexier versions, because I remember you
Yeah, it
did
was
like
more
my,
sex.
yeah, like your my type and fancy
Yeah.
and all of those. Yeah, yeah, it was like a whole concept and a whole tour. And honestly, if you and I had the resources and the money and everything like that, you and I could literally plan like a huge fucking sensation tour, actually, where it could be like, because you had the concept was there. Like, you had
Yeah.
the music was there. And like, yes.
But you know what? But
But we
even
did it
that, even
DIY.
with that, the first time we performed at the Lash, someone who I've never seen or met before, they said, I went to a Charlie XCX show recently and this was better than that.
There you
And that
go.
hands down was like, because it's like me, my little show, like I didn't have big like explosions and a whole bunch of dancers and a whole bunch of effects and all of that. All I had was like the concept and like the girls. And so that I'll never forget that comment
And we,
because
we did have a lot of hiccups too, I remember, because it was like, I think one of the main things was like the contactless mic, but me like pushing really hard, like no 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 no, we need this, and like these little bars thinking that it wasn't that important, and me being like, no,
right,
we need this, and I was like fighting all of these stupid sound guys, just being like, no motherfucker, I know what I'm talking about. This is what I need from you.
yeah,
And it's so strange, like coming from a place where like I wasn't the performer, I wasn't anything, I was just the booker for you.
yeah,
And like fighting for you with all of these stupid fucking places, especially like the Lash, because the Lash is like a queer space. The owner, or like the person who books, is like a gay man, but he's like a white gay man. And so I was literally like fighting him tooth and nail and being like, no, bitch, you're gonna figure out the sound right now. Like, do you remember that? Like, I was.
I do remember that. But I will say, I also want to thank you for getting me the Lash because I think I told you like that was always kind of a dream of mine just because I used to go to Mustache Mondays there all the time. And so the fact that I even got to do that because of you, there was a lot of things that happened in that space that I really, really appreciate you for just with everything that you've done. Like it literally, I mean, I know it's like, oh, it's just a Lash, but for me, it was a dream come true. It
We
really
were
was a dream come true.
we were literally talking about that with Judarella before, where it's like, to a lot of people the Echo seems like, oh well, it's just the Echo, but to like people who like know LA and like know what it means to be like a person who is making music, and you just see a lot of like white surf rock bands, and for you it's like a lot of these like white gay parties, or like white like queer parties or whatever that you like see getting these stages, getting these places, but these places meant a lot to you, to be able to perform there, it means a lot. And it's more important to you, and a lot of people take it for granted. And like, it's
Yeah.
really, it's a weird like space to be in, because
Right.
you want to like chastise people for them taking it for granted, and like you want to make them see their privilege, but at the same time it's like, I still want to be at the space, like I still want to.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, you hit the nail about that weird balance. And honestly, that's with everything. That's with everything I do. It's always a weird balance. Just, I don't know, because it's like I'm a gay pop singer and there's not a lot of people like me. And then it's like, you know what I also struggle with? I struggle with genre. That's what I'm struggling with right now. I'm struggling with genre because if you put up my catalog, you know, fancy is different than waiting for, and waiting for is different than what I want is you, and what I want that my my sound is so different all the time, and so then I wonder like, what is my brand? Like, who am I?
I don't
And
think that you
then
need to have a genre, if I'm going to be honest. What you're selling is yourself and your art at the time that you're writing it and making it in. Um
right.
and how you want a song to sound is your brand. How you want a song
Mhm.
to be, how you want the lyrics to be, how you want the performance to be, how you want everything to go for that specific track, that's your brand, because that's you, and that's what you're selling, is yourself.
Exactly.
And I don't want you to ever stress on genre, because I think that genre is fucking gone and dead. I think that people buy you as a person, you know what I mean? And you have created art and created music that has connected to a lot of people, like with the beginning with Fuckboy, where it was like this really fun dancey pop,
And
like
triggered.
and
And this,
triggered and Fuckboy I always think about, because it's like they sound really upbeat and fun and poppy, but like the lyrics are actually very
yeah.
sad and like everything. And with Manifesting Miracles, I think that you like kind of took what you were like having like a concept for with Fuckboy and Triggered, and what you did was you put it at 100, and you were like, let me make it myself, like brand myself out there. And Manifesting Miracles is so fucking good. And then Waiting For and The Decision don't sound like Manifesting Miracles, but it is still Cody Smith, you know? Like, it is
Yeah.
still you. It's still what you do. It's still your art. So,
And I definitely appreciate that. And I was thinking about that last night because I was in the studio last night and I was working on a song called Can't Remember. Maybe I'll play a snippet if you guys want to hear it because it's more of a and I played snippets on my stories and stuff too, but I was like, yeah, it's kind of more of like a rock sound. However, I feel like it's the way it's still me because it's like it's how I portray it. You know, that's it's my version of it. It's
I
not me.
love that.
You
Rock
know?
songs. Let me play drums, Cody. What the fuck?
Yes, and that's another reason why I love to call myself a pop star singing sensation because pop does have a very broad genre. Like right now, pop is a little more urban, but back then, pop, you know, it could be pop could be a lot of different things. So I just I love pop music. Like it's really not a gimmick for me. Like this shit is really me. Like I really genuinely love pop music. Like I really live and breathe pop. Like I listen to a lot of things, but when I naturally write, I think I naturally write pop melodies. Honestly,
I
all of
think that people really undermine what pop music, like the power that pop music actually is and has. Like it isn't easy to write a pop song, because to write a pop song means that you need to have like a beat, a melody, a harmony, a fucking everything that that like has like a structure of like two verses and a chorus. Like, yes, there is like an ABC to pop music, and you can write really bad ABC pop music, but it's different to write a really, really good pop song. Yes, like it is the most popular music out there because it has a repetition, it has this, and that's what the brain wants. But pop music is actually very, very hard to get good, to get well, to get on point. Pop music is very, very hard to write, and that's why, like, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but like with Pussy Tuesday, I've actually, the reason why the songs that I have written for Pussy Tuesday are When I Bleed and Cervezas, and those are our pop songs, and I pride myself in them because I'm like, I wrote a fucking pop song. Like, these are punk tracks, but these are like pop songs, and like purposely for the reason of being pop. You know what I mean? Like, I think that people really like give lesser credit to pop music, but it's very hard to get a pop song right, and to get a pop song that actually fucking like meets people, like The Decision, you know what I mean, like Waiting For, like all of those songs. And do not be ashamed of writing pop music. It is no.
I definitely appreciate that, and you know, but it's hard. I mean, being an artist and being in this space, part of me doesn't give a fuck what anyone thinks, and then a part of me is like, has some fucks. Like, there's always a few fucks in my pocket that I could give out, and I don't know. I go in and out of like what I think is good, what's bad. I'm like, is this too different? And it's crazy because I don't know. I feel like my immediate friends know I'm not super confident, but people that don't know me think I'm so confident, and they think I'm so, you know, and I do know what I like and I do know what I want, but I do have second thoughts all the time. Like, even the 4 songs I wrote for the EP, I'm just like, this is so left field from what I've done. I just don't know if it's like, you know, but then also what I notice is I like to do things that are fun for me. Like, I mean, I can write many songs like Thug Me Out. I love this. I can write many songs like Thug Me Out, and I will continue to write many songs like Thug Me Out. But what is fun is something a little challenging, a little like that I have to figure out. And so that is, you know, it's this EP, this like period of time that I'm going through is really its own kind of era. And I almost really want to kind of play snippets.
We will. But let's get into What I Want Is You first.
Yeah.
So, will you tell us about the song What I Want Is You? And we'll talk about the day after, because that's a story, honey.
Yeah. So What I Want Is You is one of the first songs I've ever produced from scratch. It literally just started off with a do 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 do.
You had the melody in your head.
Yep, I heard it, and then like in my head, and that was like What I Want Is You was a moment for me, because it was like, oh, I can come up from scratch with this, like this, you know. So it was really, well, it was a little hard for me to make in that moment, but yeah, I just felt like What I Want Is You was the first. I loved it being the first track off of Manifesting Miracles because I love the energy. I like to start.
Wait, sorry. Can we pause really quick? What are your fans' names?
Okay, it's confirmed. They're called the Code Breakers.
The Code Breakers.
Yes.
They're like, asking in the chat. Los Angeles said, "Wait, do Cody Smith stands have a name?" And Skirt was like, we need a name. And Law said, I think there was one, the Decoders or something.
Not the Decoders, but I'm like,
what's that one? What's that one with Frankie Muniz where he's like the like spy or something? Cody Banks.
Yeah, because when that came out, they would never let me live. No one ever let me live. So I definitely remember Agent Cody Banks very well because
Your fans are called the agents, the agent Cody
you know
Smithers.
what? The agents.
No, no, no. Please don't be the agents. No, no. I like.
Wait. You know how like the shade room is like, hey roommates. I'm like, hey agents.
Stop it.
I don't
we're
know
gonna we're
you
gonna watch
personally.
What I Want Is You right now because we have a lot of funny stories to tell about this video.
Yes.
All right, everybody. This is What I Want Is You.
Been a while since I've been with someone who's got my back. Didn't know you changed the game and do it just like that. Got just what I'm yearning for, and baby, that's a fact. Cause we're all looking for someone. Live a life that you know you won't regret. Take my hand, cause you're dancing on the sunset. Feeling good when you run around with me. Up a level, now we living so freely. Live a life that you know you won't regret. Take my hand, cause you're dancing on the sunset. One look at you, and I knew it was over. Key, we're just all looking for someone. Live a life that you know you won't regret. Take my hand, cause you're dancing on the sunset. Feeling good when you run around with me. Up a level, now we're living so freely. Live a life that you know you won't regret. Take my hand, cause you're dancing on the sunset. One look at you, and I knew it was over.
I did not mean to immediately go into the hosting. I meant to go into the starting soon, but it's okay. We're here. We're back. um, I will say, okay. So that music video premiered and aired at the Queer as Punk 4-year anniversary because we had shot all of the bands in one day in like a studio somewhere. Oh my god, I'm burping. I'm hiccuping.
Is it acid reflux?
Yeah,
I have that too.
from this pasta that Jake made that I didn't even finish because I knew it would give me acid reflux. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, we're gonna drink water. So Cody wasn't able to make it that day, but I was like, literally, Cody, there is no way that we're gonna be able to have the 4 year anniversary without you having a fucking performance in this set. And we set it up, and I was like, we're gonna film you. Me and Jake will film you, whatever song you want to do. And we'll edit it and we'll put it together because that's what we're going to provide for all of the other bands that will show up for the 4 year anniversary. And you picked What I Want Is You. And honestly, that video is so amazing.
It was so much fun. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm just so comfortable with you guys, especially like after touring. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, so I'm really, really comfortable. And so it, what I enjoy the most is when things aren't super, super planned and you just roll with the punches and you just try shit. Like I got up on the damn thing, the dusty thing. And
Oh my
like
god.
I got,
Okay. So you showed up to my house and I was like, okay, this is what you're gonna wear. What if I do like some really quick eyeliner on you and I do
Right.
some glitter or something and you're like, yeah, sure, let's just do it. And like literally now that I'm watching back that video, because I haven't seen it since the 4 year anniversary, I'm like, honestly, that's a serve. That fucking eyeliner and that glitter. And then we went to the first filming location because I had filmed there for like a digital drag number or something. And we took you to the top of the hill and you did
And my
one take in those boots.
guys, I have to show you what
Sorry,
happened.
my roommates are making loud noises up there. So we did one take and Cody ripped through his fucking We were in all dirt. Literally everything was dirt there because I was like, it was green here like 2 months ago. Let's take Cody up there.
My boots my boots, it's been a long time coming because it's not lost on me. It's not lost on me that I got those boots from eBay. They were fake New Rock boots that definitely overstayed their welcome. I have worn them in every performance for years. I was upset because it's like, I understand if you want to give up, but you didn't have to give up like that. Like the boot didn't have to go all the way through. Like the boot went up. Like they committed suicide right then and there. They were like, "Bitch, I can't take."
It was literally
more.
one take. It was one take.
Yes.
And you were like,
Like,
thank you,
my
Many
foot
Lady,
went-
for that hydrate. We've been drinking water. Cody, if you want to take a sip of water, you don't have to. I'll do it for both of us.
Yeah, I don't drink water. I'm just kidding. I really need to drink water. I'm not kidding, actually, but I do need to drink water. Like, soon.
Cody doesn't even water his plants. Serotonin died the other day. I called Cody the other day and I was like, how is serotonin? Because that's the name of his plant. And he said, she's dead.
It's a chop.
It's a chop.
It was a chop. She started growing like fur or like mold. I don't know what it was, but I was like, I'm not.
Our phone conversation the other day literally like cured my depression. I was like,
I know. I feel like when we talk, we just like start kikiing. Like,
well, because I only called you to talk for like 2 seconds, and I hung up
Right.
the phone, and it was like 45 minutes. I was like, oh my god.
yes. But
That day was
that
amazing.
video-
You broke your boots, and then I was like, don't worry, honey. We can just call John, who has the same size shoe, I think, as you. And we called Gay House, and John was like, yeah, I have an old pair of boots that I can give Cody. And John literally gifted Cody this
yes,
pair of
they
boots.
gifted to me. First of all, baby always has a solution. Like always. Like
The show
no
must
time
go
is-
on.
The show always goes on. But those boots, like, and I wore them in I wore them for the Decision promo shots, which of course ended up being just a close up of my face so you couldn't see, but I wore the mugs. I really do appreciate that because they didn't have to gift it to me, you know?
They gave you some boots, and then we went to that bridge, and that bridge is actually right up like 1 block away from where I went to elementary and middle school. So that bridge has like a lot of meaning to me. That's actually where I filmed my Ashley Simpson Pieces of Me number. Um,
Oh.
but when I took you there, I was like, oh my god, this is like so crazy that I'm filming Codi at this bridge because I have memories of me from like literally kindergarten through 8th grade, like going on that bridge and like finding new things, like kissing a
Mhm.
boy for my first time and like all this stuff. Like we got to film Codi there, and that was really cute and amazing. That
And
video is so good.
so much fun. It
And
was
then
hot.
that big green box that like you can't see the big green box that Codi is standing on, but it's like on the other side of the bridge. So when you see all those fence shots, Cody's literally standing on top of like this electrical box and dancing the whole time.
Yes, like I love it. I love it. Like everyone was just down to try anything. Like let's get up on the thing. Like let's try this angle and on the fence. And like I hopped up. I think I was like doing something on the fence, and it was
I,
just
I remember
fun.
I remember the on the fence shots because those are also
Yeah,
in the video. But when we were filming them, I remember the first one. It was like, oh, you felt a little bit awkward, and I was like, okay, stop thinking about it as a fence and just like put your feet up on the bar and just like kind of like give me one lip sync where you're just like doing some
yeah,
stuff, and then you did, and those are the shots that are in the video.
yeah.
That's what it is of being a drag performer. I think that like literally like it's a great thing to be a musician and a drag performer because it's like you have to like kind of learn how to deal with the punches where like I don't think that a lot of musicians have to go with that where they don't know how to be a performer. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think I directed you as a performer as opposed to me directing you as like
Absolutely.
yeah.
And it became a safe space because in any other situation, that shit is awkward. Like there's people running up the bridge, like watching you, like, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but I was comfortable being with y'all. So you guys definitely made it a safe space and it was so much fun. Like we spent hours and like just I just love that kind of stuff. Like just trying it. Like just trying.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it makes it or not, just trying it and having fun.
I think that's what's so great about that video too, because like the whole thing, nobody realizes it, but that whole video was us just being like, let's just try it. Let's just try this.
Mhm.
Let's just try this. And then the end result is like this great fucking video. When you and I, because I remember the night of the 4-year anniversary when we both watched it, we were like, wait a minute. This worked. And that's
Yeah,
also
it
the
was
power of
like
editing. So we have to thank Skirt Cocaine for the power of editing.
yes, there was no Northridge shots in sight.
Not
Northridge
one.
was obliterated.
Not one. I
Not
don't even
one.
know who Northridge is. Where is
Northridge.
that?
We don't say that over here. Like,
All right, I want to talk to you about Thug Me Out so that we can watch the Thug Me Out video.
Dug Me Out was just my coming into like okay, so you know, I don't view myself as a sexy person. Like, and that was me just like I'm gonna be that. Like I don't. I do not view myself as sexy, sexual. Like
Cody,
I'm
all
just
of your songs are about
I'm, I know, and I think that's because it's like that's a part of me I'm trying to get out. Like it's like fun. It's fun there. Because I'm not normally that. Like I would never go to a guy and be, thug me out right now. Like, you know, I would just, but I do like I'm like, hey, you know.
Skirt said, y'all got my USC degree. Yeah, not Northridge. We got USC up in this house.
Yes. Um, but that thug me out was like I want to channel like someone sexy like Britney. I want to channel, you know, but and that was the chorus. But the verses, if you really listen to it, I'm talking from what I know, and that was DL Men. Like if you want to have that conversation right now, like there's not a lot of openly gay thugs. Like all the thugs I fuck with are DL. So
Yep.
I'm saying, I think one verse I'm like, you don't have to hide. Like I'm really kind of like dropping subliminals, and I mean, no one really knows that that's the topic I'm kind of talking about. But
I got that
mm,
from that, but that's because I'm also in the like queer community and I've
right,
like been on Grinder and I've you know what I mean? Like
mhm,
I get that and I also know the machismo and the fucking like toxic masculinity that kind of runs in the gay scene where it's like
right,
there's no open gay thugs, and that's because of toxic masculinity. That's because men think that they can't be openly gay and be fucking like thug and gangster at the same time.
themselves, like not even a thug,
Exactly.
like themselves,
No,
like
exactly, themselves. And it's like I grew up in East LA, so I grew up with a lot of fucking thugs and I grew up with a lot of fucking gangsters. I grew up with a lot of people from gangs that were closeted gay men and they didn't feel like they can be themselves. And like when I heard that song, that's what I got from it. And that's why I
I'm
love that
glad.
song.
Because that's a topic that we don't really talk about. Like that's not really something, especially for a pop song. Like I don't know if people would put two and two, but yeah, if I'm gonna sing about thugs, I'm gonna sing about what I know. And every nigga that I fucked with was DL. And I don't know. I mean, I will never. I the DL topic is a sensitive topic because I'm not here to
Out
um
anybody or anything like
out
that, yeah.
anybody or even judge them for wanting to be in the closet. I really can't judge because especially if you're from an older generation and even like the generation I'm from, like when I was in high school, there was no, I was one of two, I was the only black gay that I knew, let alone I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I didn't really know any gays like that. But now the younger generation, they're way more open and they're way more expressive of themselves. And I feel bad for my generation and up because a lot of people didn't get that opportunity, especially at a young age. Like I didn't have a boyfriend to prom. Like I didn't. I see stuff on Twitter and people are bringing their boyfriends to prom. Like that's something I never would ever experience. Like I
Yeah.
was always just like, someone's gay best friend, you know, like
Yeah.
I was, you know, and so I mean, I definitely get it. I get it because of, especially in the Black community, and I feel like most communities of color, it's just frowned upon that much more. It's just
Oh
that
yeah.
extra layer of it.
And I
And if
can
you really want to go, I mean, Black men are viewed in one way, and if you defer from anything of that, it's not over because you know I exist, but you know you're gonna get some backlash or you're gonna get hate or whatever it is, and you know it is what it is.
it's not even backlash or hate. It's actual like violence and it's actual like
Right.
harm that comes to you because you are open and you know what I mean like coming from a
And
place of
you know what's crazy
strength
to
where
me?
you're able to talk about it and they you know what I mean like I can't speak from a black experience. I can only speak from like a
Right.
Mexican and indigenous experience, but it is it's the same thing where it's like there is such a toxic masculinity that runs deep inside of these in deep inside of these communities, and it's because of religions that have been put upon us by colonizers. It is
Yeah.
because of institutions and the white cis patriarchy that has been put on us by white male colonizers, you know? Um, and sorry, what were you going to say?
But I want to talk about how if you are LGBT, you get put in a certain light, but I don't think people really understand how strong you have
To
to
be.
be able to walk in your truth. And I think people get upset because they can't do that. I think a lot of the hate and the violence Because if you think about it, what do you gain by being violent to any
Exactly.
what do you gain?
It comes from a place of anger because they're mad at you for being able to walk in your truth. It comes from a place of, you know what I mean, like shame, where they think that they can't do it, and they're mad at you because you're able to be so proud and out, and they feel like you need to have shame just like them. It's a place of like weird violence and weird, it's an intersection of a lot of things, you know. um
And the projection of it all, and it's just like not even like it's not even like just straight men. They don't have to be gay to be projecting. They could be just the fact that they like Powerpuff Girls and they can't walk in their truth. They can still like it's not about being gay or straight. I think people are just jealous of anyone that can just walk in their truth and not even just like wave it like a flag, just exist. Like
yeah.
effortlessly exist.
Yeah,
It really
you don't
just
even have to be gay, but being feminine, or you know what I mean, like embracing femininity is something that is so taboo to a lot of very toxic masculine community, like not community, sorry, but like just cultures that grew up that way. And that comes with, I can't, like I said, I can't speak from a black experience, but I can speak from a Mexican and an indigenous experience, and that's where that comes from, you know. It's like,
yeah.
um and that's a lot of the religion that we take, the religion that we had to take on because of colonizers, and where they say that the man is the man and the woman is the woman, and if you lay with another man, you're evil, you're this, you're that, and that is a colonizer, and that is a
I mean,
Western person putting that on all of
yeah.
us.
Everything you say, I mean, the key word is colonizer because I can think of a majority of things that people suffer with leads all roads lead back to colonizers. I hate to say it, like in many different ways where you wouldn't even think about it. Like, no, it roots a lot of it roots back to colonizers. Even just the way black men are viewed because of slavery and how they had to be, and just that visual of like the black man, the strong black man, like and it's like honestly, I don't know. I actually don't even want to go that deep. I'm like, we're kind of like touching on things that I wasn't intending to touch upon, but um,
No, it's
because
okay.
it,
I mean,
I mean,
this space is supposed to be for, like, obviously I do want to highlight you. I do want to show your art and everything, but all of these conversations that come up naturally are just between you and I. Like, this is for you and I to be able to have the space to be able to talk about anything that we want to talk about. So, um
yeah,
we don't have to talk about this anymore. But the reason why we are talking about this is because of Thug Me Out, and because of your reason
Yeoman.
being DL Men. Yeah. Um,
Mm.
yeah. If you want to say any more, we can. We can also just go right into the video and we can talk a little bit about it after.
Yeah, I mean, but all in all, I think the song. I'm just so happy that I wrote that song because it really is. I mean, I know Waiting For is my most streamed, but I feel like Thug Me Out is my staple song. Like,
Yeah.
that is my staple song. Like, that is my Hit Me Baby One More Time. Like, that's what it is for me. That is
Really,
my Hit Me.
because to me it's the decision. If we want to get into the conversation again.
Maybe the decision is your every time. Like,
The decision is your every time.
yeah. See?
It's the black and white for
Actually,
me. It's the.
yes. Yes.
All right,
So let's play
everybody.
the video. This video was edited by me. Maybe it was giving Northridge, and I was just being a little too confident earlier.
Wait,
You be the
what?
judge. You tell me if it's giving Northridge. My
What?
editing of Thug Me Out.
All right, everybody. This is a class now. We're gonna see if the editing is in fact giving Northridge vibes. Get out your pens and papers, get out your notes, get out your notebooks. Everybody, this is Thug Me Out by Cody Smith.
Just give it to me, baby. They happen cause they shady. My fallback game is crazy. These other boys can't take me to ecstasy. I'm waiting for your initiating. It's all I'm anticipating. Your love so captivating, baiting, baiting, baiting. I know that I'm playing with fire, I know that it's getting too deep, I know that I'm acting delusional, I know, so just give me a dose of baby, you about to up and change me, to change me. I love the way you do me, so give it to me, baby, baby. Thug me out, 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 thug me out. When I'm alive, I need you by my side. You never have to hide, so be free with me tonight. You know you do it right. Don't catch me by surprise. I see you in your light with my troublemaker, troublemaker. I know that I'm playing with fire, I know that it's getting too deep, I know that I'm acting delusional, I know, so just give me a dose of baby, you about to up and change me, to change me. I love the way you do me, so give it to me, baby, baby. Baby, you about to up and change me, to change me. I love the way you do me, so give it to me, baby, baby. I can never get enough, from the background to the front. I'll do anything, anything you want, cause you know I like 'em tough, and a thug I need some love. I'll do anything, 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 anything you want. Baby, you about to up and change me, to change me. I love the way you do me, so give it to me, baby, baby. Anything you want, baby, baby. Let me out, 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 baby, baby, baby. Let me out, 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 let me out,
Yay. I love seeing you guys' comments, honestly. You guys are so awesome. But Tito's no joke because I'm pretty sure I saw some like backflips. I saw some stuff.
Yeah, no. Tito did a lot of aerial performances for his Drag Queen of the Year performance, and Tito is
That
no
was sick.
joke when it comes to performing. I will say that. But Tito is a big joke to me because he's. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, Tito. I love you so much.
It says you're muted.
No,
They're saying you're
I fixed
muted.
it. I fixed it already.
Okay.
um, but yeah, I love you so much, Cody, and I'm glad that Tito brought back up the stud and brought back up the sensation tour because I think that for me and you as friends, I think that that's where we like really like I already had been booking you for like so long, maybe like about a year and a half to 2 years of bookings.
Yeah.
Just like I loved you already. I loved you so much. I was booking you a lot. And then when you said you wanted to do a tour, I was just like, bet.
And the thing about that experience, like only you, me, Jake, Iman, and Brandy know exactly what that experience was like. So we will always be bonded by that
Yeah.
specific experience. Like
And
only we really were.
I think the thing was too is like you were stressed because I don't think that because you had never been on a tour before. And I think
Right.
that I was just like, come here, Cody. I
Yeah.
got you.
So calm. And then I remember the first night at the Lash, I was like, nobody's here. And you're like, don't worry. People
People
are
will
gonna show
come.
up. Like you were so just like you were that like and
I said people
then
will
you were
come,
handling
and
business.
what happened? People came, and there was a huge ass crowd at the Lash for you. Well deserved because that shit was fucking amazing. And I think we had like a little hiccup with audio or something like that, but it didn't even fucking
Yeah.
matter because it was so good. And the DJ that night played like all of these like amazing pop tracks, and it was like supposed to
Yes.
be a
Popstar
pop
night.
night. It was a pop star night, and it was just so fucking good. And then the show after that was The Stud, where yes, we had that hiccup with that person that we will not speak of, but overall, I think that that night really, really, really bonded you with all of us. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely. Oh,
that night was for
absolutely.
you. Like it was a queer as punk, but it was a Cody. It was the Cody Smith Sensation tour, and that night was just so amazing. Everybody was amazing. All of the people who were there to just like view the show were just so good. Like they were so kind to you. They like literally were singing your songs back to you. Um,
Yes.
yeah, and then we did exposure as like a circle around, and that night was also really fun. I love seeing the pictures of you and Brandy and Iman on like the small
Mhm.
exposure stage but it's like all three of you
Yeah.
like hitting the same pose. It was like,
Yeah.
so good.
That was iconic. And Huck from Scandal was there. I don't know if you saw. So I
Wait,
was
who?
really like, you have you watched Scandal?
No.
Um,
I mean, I've
well,
seen Grey's
Huck,
Anatomy.
well,
Shonda?
Huck
I know Shonda a little bit.
Shonda Lians. But yeah, Huck from Scandal was there, so I had to like arch a little
At
more.
which
Like
one?
I have to show
No, no,
you.
no. At the
Yeah.
stud?
Oh no, from Exposure.
Oh, at exposure. Wow, somebody famous was there and I didn't even know, and I was just being a
No,
cute
he
little
was there
booker.
Act Two. It
I
was
was
Act
like
Two. So
I was like, I'm a booker today, and there was somebody famous and I didn't even know.
I think you were about to beat somebody's ass that night, though.
Probably. Always.
I,
Always
I
at exposure.
remember. Is it always there?
Yeah, because that show is full of problematic people and they always bring a problematic crowd. So, probably. I probably was about to beat somebody's ass.
Yeah.
Oh Oh my God, wait, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was like at the very end.
It was at the very beginning and it lasted until the very end, I will say.
It was at the beginning.
Should I say the T?
I could. Well, now I want to know. I thought it was just that moment.
There's a very racist person that runs deep in
You were
the.
racist.
There's a very racist person that runs deep in the drag community. I will not say their name, but their initials are VVT. I'll say that. VVT. I'll text you right now, Cody. How about that? Oh my God, I almost said it to the chat. This person, I was working your fucking show. Like, okay, so you saw that I got dressed up in drag that day to be there. I got dressed up in drag to be there just in case I was able to perform because I was already there. But my main job was to be your manager. And you know that we had already been having problems with your microphone beforehand. And I have already just had really bad personal experiences with that show because they hate women and they hate me specifically because I was like one of the first women to ever perform on the stage and they never gave me a chance at the time, and then I really fought back them a lot. And I gave them a hard time because they are misogynistic, and so whatever. So I booked you for that night because I knew that it would be great exposure for you, even though I knew that I would have to personally go through a lot of stuff. So me showing up to that show that day, I was like trying to get your sound organized before the DJ showed up, and before everything. And the bartenders at that bar are great at the Offbeat. The bartenders are always amazing. Sergio and Avi, I love you so much. I will never say a bad word against you. But the DJ was trying to give me a hard time about trying to like run your tracks to sound, even though nobody was even there yet. And that's why when, remember how I had told you that day, I was like, oh, I want you to, when I run sound, I want you to like, to practice your mic so that we can see how things are going to go.
Right.
And then they like didn't let us do that. And they were being really weird about it that day. And it was just like a whole lot of weird awkwardness. There was that one performer, I didn't say her name, but I said her initials in the chat, VVT, who I didn't give any attention to because I didn't realize anybody was around me. I was literally trying to figure out your microphone, and I was literally trying to figure out your music, and this person took it personally that I wasn't able to hear them, and I wasn't able to like give them attention when they were saying hi to me. And so the whole night they were being shady to me, and they were being rude to me, and they were being like a cunt to me. And so at the end of the night, when they were already drunk, they were just like, why were you ignoring me, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, when was I ignoring you? And they said, well, at the beginning, when you were doing this. And I was like, girl, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I was trying to figure out something more important than saying hello to you. And it was made a way bigger deal than it was supposed to be. And they were like actually treating me like an asshole the whole night. And after that I explained it to them, they were just like, oh, okay. And like didn't, I don't know, it was like a weird thing. And like, that's it. It was a weird taste in my mouth after that.
I remember I felt like,
well, because you were there. Yeah, you were there. That's right.
I really thought you were gonna swing. I'd never seen you that upset. I really thought you were gonna swing.
I mean, why are you accusing me of ignoring you? Or like, not even that. I feel like I think that I'm underselling it because you saw how aggressive they were being at me. Like I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping, right? Like I think that I'm underselling it. Sorry.
Yeah, it was very, very strange. because I was hearing certain bits, but yeah, that whole thing, I was just like, when did this happen? That was I was yeah. But the fact that they even okay, it's like grow up. Like if I was ignoring you, what about it? If I wanted to ignore you, what about it? What did you gain by telling me why are you like what did you gain?
Yeah. And
Do you think I would have fucked you more?
the fact is that I wasn't, so I was honestly genuinely trying to be nice about it, and you saw how aggressive it was being at me, and I was just like, what is the reason? Why? And you saw how that went down. But if I was trying to purposely ignore somebody, it would have been a whole different thing. But the reason why I would have started swinging was because the way that she was coming at me, it was very weird and
No, I
very
remember.
aggressive. Yeah.
I really remember. And I feel like she
Because
said,
you were standing right here, and I was like, I was busy helping this person. I was busy, like,
yeah.
doing this. And it was like, no, there was no listening involved. There was no anything. It was like accusatory. And so that's
But
why I was like,
I feel like she threatened you too, saying something like, ugh, I don't remember because it was a while ago, but I feel like she said something like, you won't work here again, or you won't work something
I
again.
do not remember that. And that's crazy because I only think of happy thoughts because of me doing that for you that night. I only remember the sensation tour. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
wild. I don't even, maybe that's why I almost
No,
started
I
swinging.
no, I mean I remember she was threatening you with it sounded very like these are fighting words. That's what I got from it. Because me and my mom were just like, should we step in? Like it was crazy. But that night was kind of chaotic. Just a little bit.
Well, we're
But it
friends
was a
and we
lot of
got
fun.
through it.
It was a lot of fun.
Oh my god. Well, anyway, if you're ever in LA and you need to go to a drag show, do not go to a show that has um the initials VVT in them, or MAG. I'll just say it. She's on the city council. Maybe a girl. Don't go to her show either.
Oh, wow. Not the city council.
Girl, I know. She's trying to have power.
Why is city council sending me?
Toxicity. Okay, Cody,
Wait,
we gotta go. We gotta go.
I know, I know. We're 30 minutes past due. We're just like we're kikiing now.
I know. This is a me and you conversation.
This is how we always, yeah.
Anyway, skirt, save it. You know what? I don't care. Everybody knows the vibes. Everybody knows the fucking vibes here. Everybody knows the fucking vibes here. Guess what? Guess who's not going to be in the DTLA Drag Excellence video? Them. Those bitches, okay? If you're going to be in LA and you want to see drag, you're going to come see Baby. You're going to see Diana. And if you want to see music, we got Cody Smith right here, baby.
Can I play you guys a snippet?
What'd you say?
Can I play you guys a snippet?
Oh, yes. Please play us a snippet before we go. This is Cody's.
Just a small one.
Cody's gonna have a new EP coming out in the next few months after he gets his heart surgery. Let's all wish him
No,
the best
I'm
wishes.
doing it before.
Also,
I'm doing it before.
Oh, okay, Skirt. Can you please do a QAP in the chat so that everybody can tip Cody, because he's gonna be getting his heart surgery in the next few months, in the next few weeks, I think. So please tip him, give him money, because he's not going to be able to work for 3 months after his surgery. Everybody, please pay Cody, because he's not going to be able to work for 3 months after he gets his surgery. His mom is only going to be able to stay here with him for 2 weeks, so he's going to be able, he's going to have to be able to support himself for 2.5 months after that. So please, if you are able to, please give him money. Let's go ahead and let's hear some tracks. And let's all wish Cody the best healing, the best energy, the best positive energy that we can.
All right, I'll play this one. It's called Can't Remember. It's the one that I said is a little different for me, but it's still getting mixed and mastered. But I just want to see, I want to pick your brain about it. So I'll just play it. Hold on. Delicate pieces are shattered. The truth behind the matter is we're a disaster. But I did it for you. You make it a point as a country fan. Taking the shot at the angle I'm in. There you go, fucking it all at the end. I can't remember the last time I looked at you and it felt good. I can't remember the last time I saw your face and it felt in place. I can't remember the last time I looked in your eyes and it fantasized. I can't remember the last time you tried. All right. But yeah, that's the vibe.
Okay, hold on, wait. I turned off my microphone.
Am I muted?
No. I turned off my microphone for me. That was so, like, I will say it's a little bit like darker. It's a little bit more like moodier than what we're used to for you. But I love that. And that's why I'm telling you, do not believe in any genre. I think that you need to literally just like dive into whatever feelings you want to write, whatever you want to create, because that is I hate the word brand. I hate the thought of like branding. I hate the thought of genre. I think that everybody needs to create what the fuck they want to create. You know what I mean? Why are you going to put yourself in this big box so early on in your career? Just create whatever the fuck you want to create. That's what I think, and that's what I always believe. Like, do not ever think that you need to conform to a genre or an image, because your music is growing with you and you want your fans to grow along with you. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, for sure. I appreciate that.
Yes. And I love you.
I love you too.
And bitch, I'm going to buy you a plant and I'm going to make sure that she lives. I'm going to take a picture of her and I'm going to put her on my Planta app and she's going to live. If you fucking hear me. Do you hear me?
Have you ever seen Nene, that video when she's like, keep saying it out loud? And
yes, of course. And I got into Atlanta because of you. And you know it. I was like, where should I start? And you said season 5. And I did start at season 5 and I'm on the current season. But recently I was like, let me watch it from season 1 and let me just see. Literally hated it from season 1 to 4. It's so bad. Start at season 5. If you're gonna watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, start at season 5.
Kenya and Portia come in and switch it up a little bit, it definitely changes.
Exactly.
It shifts.
We need like the younger people, and we also need the people that are gonna stir the drama, because before that they were just boring rich people. That's all. Yeah.
Although Greg borrowed $10,000. Greg borrowed $10,000 is iconic. I can't even deny it.
Osner, the plant app is called Planta. Let me put it in the chat. So the free version, it'll just send you reminders on when to water your plant. But if you buy a subscription, which I did for a year when I got my stimulus, the last stimulus, it's only $35 for a year, but it tells you when to water your plants, when to mist them, when to fertilize them. It gives you information on like the sunlight that they should be getting, and if it's too much sunlight that they shouldn't be getting where you have them. It tells you a bunch of stuff that you need to know. Planta. I stand by it. Cody, I told you about this when you bought serotonin, and literally...
And if I listened she would be here right now.
If you listened, she would be here especially because I told you, you don't even need to buy it. Send me a picture and I will tell you all the updates. And what did this bitch do? He didn't
I
even
forgot.
fucking, yeah, this bitch did not even tell me anything. All right, everybody. We're going to be waiting for Codi Smith's EP to come out in the summer. Until then, please send him money on Venmo and Cash App at Codi R. Smith. Codi with an I at the end. Please, please, please send him money because he's going to be getting heart surgery in the next few months. And not just that, support him because he's an amazing fucking artist. Codi, do you have your music on Bandcamp?
I don't have it on Bandcamp, but I heard what you were saying about it.
Bitch, get on it. Get on it. I know that Bandcamp is like not as like verifiable as Spotify when it comes to like people that probably try to look at you. Oh my god, please delete those ads that are in that chat skirt. Please, please, please. Thank you so much, Berlin, for deleting them. But Codi, put it on Bandcamp because there are a lot of like young kids who don't have the ability to buy Spotify yet. And they are on Bandcamp. Like all these kids with like making their first bands and stuff, putting their music up on Bandcamp. And for Bandcamp, you can get like the first few listens for free. But if you want to support the artist, you can like name your price for a song or for an album. And every Friday, if anybody buys your music or your merch on a Friday, you get to keep 100% of the money tax-free, whatever price you name. Every other day, you get to keep the money, but obviously Bandcamp takes like 10 cents or 20 cents or something like that from your purchases. But every Friday, not first Friday of the month, it's every single Friday. It's called Bandcamp Friday, and you get to keep all of the earnings that you make.
Wow. Well, thank you for putting me on because I'm like, that sounds good. And I want to get into doing like merch too. I've never gone to that point yet.
Oh my God, Codi. Text me tomorrow.
I know that face very well. Got an idea.
It means I'm gonna put you on. It means I love you and we're gonna do it.
I love that face.
It was the face I gave you when I was like, I'm gonna plan a tour for you.
It's like when Raven gets a vision. I saw the vision.
Alrighty. I love you. Do you have anything else to say to everybody before we go?
I just want to say thank you guys for like chilling with us and kikiing with us and the lovely messages and support and the energy. And I appreciate everyone. I know it's like corny, but I really do.
You are so cute. I love you so much. All right, everybody. We're going to read Lucifer, who is an amazing drag king. Wait. Yeah, I got it. Oh, it's not working. Okay, never mind. Guess what? We're not going to raid anybody. We're just going to go. We're just going to leave.
Right, y'all.
Good night, everybody. We are going to be back next Friday on Q&A with QAP with Epi Scene from the Epi stream and with Dana Lou, her partner. We love both of them so much. They are our Olympia fam, our free range drag fam. You can always see us back here on Wednesdays and Thursdays. I'm going to be streaming Ori and the Will of the Wisps now. I'm actually on the second game. Everybody tune in next Friday for Q&A with QAP with Epi and Dan and stream Codi Smith. And guess what? You might be able to buy Codi Smith's stuff on Bandcamp very soon.
I'm going to work on that.
All right. I love you, babe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.